Everyone comes in different volumes on Discord. How you doing?
Great. How about you?
Not bad. What's your name?
Craig.
Craig. Hi, Craig. Well, my name is John.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna turn the sim down just a little bit. So for those that don't know, Craig, otherwise known as Sim CFI here in chat, is a real world Q400 pilot. We will not name his airline or whatever whoever he works for. We'll keep that anonymous. But thanks for joining today. And he won't be giving any standard operating procedure for his outfit. He'll just be giving me general guidelines for a simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some things that are kind of obvious that's like, no, you could just do this instead and save a bunch of hassle.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you installed yet then or?
Yeah, I can confirm it's very frame rate heavy.
Yeah, I've got at this airport with no scenery really to speak of. Some ortho. I've got 36 frames here on the ground, which for me that works.
Yeah, I forgot to actually load up the FPS counter to see what I was getting, but initially it was kind of rough, but I think I had object slide to the max, so
Okay. What
relearn.
CPU and GPU do you have?
Yeah, the i7 4790 with the GTX 1070.
Okay.
Getting a little bit dated at this point.
That one's a good though for single-threaded situations like X-Plane. So,
Oh, okay. The
but
the CPU, right?
but then the GPU of course is somewhat related, but I would have thought you would have a little bit higher frame rate with that one,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, just when I loaded up, I loaded up X-Plane just the other day, threw in the IXEG 737 just for fun, and that one ran silky smooth. Then to load this guy in, it's like, nah.
all right, I'm going to close the main cabin door, close the cargo door. Then at this point, still got. All right, so at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and start the APU. Is this simulating a pretty normal APU start in the airplane?
Um, yeah, it is. I just did that. Yeah, I did a little flight out of. I loaded up Portland, Seattle, then just like re-diverted myself to Portland to fly the ILS and be done with it.
Okay.
It was really weird at the ILS too. I came around, everything was loaded in right, but I pressed approach and the FMA loaded it up as VOR approach and it never
Oh,
armed the glide slope. It's like, what?
huh. That's weird.
And it says on the when you went to Blue Needles, it says ILS, ILS 1 10.5, and it's like it's detecting it as an ILS. It should send it over to ILS approach mode, but
Yeah. I did notice that they did a in the pre-release versions there was some mention of. Let me bring it up here. All right, so they added nav mode to the MFDs. So you do a long press on the format button and it switches between FMS and nav radio view on the
mhm.
MFD. And then the MFD can only ever show nav 1, MFD 2 and can only ever show nav 2. This is used to set your ILS while staying in LNAV mode. So that, I guess
Yeah.
they changed that. So
Yeah, it's used for when you're on the when you're on the pilot flying side. If you're the pilot monitoring and you like if the captain's flying and the FO was monitoring, then the FO could just swap the nav source over to ILS and set it that way without messing up the autopilot. But if you're the pilot flying and you switch over to Blue Needles and you're in LNAV mode, it'll kick it off of that and you'll be in wings level, I think.
okay.
So that's where that's used.
Adams Flight Sim, it's been a while since I've cut a live stream. Glad to see you're doing well. Yeah, it's good to see you, Adams. I've been streaming mostly on the weekends. We did do a rare stream on Wednesday night for this pre-release. That was fun, and I believe it was Wednesday night. Was it Wednesday night or Thursday night? Um, anyway, it's good to see you. All right, I'm gonna click the power button now. In this particular plane, if I hit the start here, do you guys go ahead and wait for the starter to kick on before you turn on the gens and bleed air, or Does it
Yeah,
matter?
you'll see starter illuminated there, and then you just wait. You wait for gen to say warn. That's when it's available.
Okay. And then,
The starter light should extinguish too after a little bit.
okay, so now it's got warn. So I noticed that
Yeah.
I noticed that this will warn until you turn external power off. Is that also
Yeah,
realistic?
the EPCU, what's it called? Oh, I forget. EPCU stands for something. It's the electronic control unit, whatever.
ECU?
And it's always looking for it has a priority of power, and external power is the highest priority.
Okay.
So if you turn the APU gen on, but the external power is on, it's going to keep the external power on.
Okay. Fasten seatbelt signs, smoking. See exit lights on. Okay. At this point, I don't need a pushback, so I can disconnect GPU. When you disconnect a G, well, because we're off of external power, it's not going to do you're not going to hear any switching going on. I do have a
Correct.
question though. We haven't got to this point yet, but why do you turn the bus tie off after engine start?
I think
Or and is that realistic? Is that what?
it's realistic. That's what
Okay.
we do. Yeah. I forget why.
It's probably tying to either APU or external power only, maybe instead
Well,
of
what the
the
main
engine.
bus tie does is there's two main buses, there's two secondary buses, and there's two essential buses. And the main bus tie has a tie between the two main buses. And what that does is when it's tied, if you have a power source like a DC gen fail on one side, the opposite side DC gen will cross feed over and power that other main bus.
Okay.
The switch itself is kind of um, like if you actually need it to be tied, you can do that, but the electronic control unit will also do that automatically. So you're kind of just matching switch positions
Okay.
sometimes. Like
Okay.
in flight, it'll be off, but if you have a gen, if one of the engines fail, you're gonna lose your DC gen. It's gonna automatically close the bus tie and do that for you anyways.
Okay. All right. Circuit breakers, passenger signs, emergency exit light, arms. Explain to me the what is anti-skid.
Oh, well, the anti-skid switch is on the right.
Yeah, I just turned it on. I just don't know what don't recall what that
It's kind
does.
of like ABS in a car. When you land, like when we land in a contaminated runway, they say to just like mash the brakes, and you don't let up if you feel them um, slipping a bit, like the brake, because it's modulating hydraulic pressure to the brakes. So you slam on the brakes, and it applies all of that hydraulic pressure to the brakes, and then if they start locking up, the anti-skid system will modulate the hydraulic pressure to make sure it's getting just enough to keep the brakes actually engaged
Okay.
properly.
Good info. Anti-collision to red. All right. I guess at this point, would there be anything that you would do for engine start? Got everything
Um,
clear.
yeah, the APU is on, so we usually have the APU on when we want to start during the pushback, so we can push back and then start engines at the same time. Otherwise, if it's ground power, you got to start at least one of them at the gate, and then you can disconnect ground power and push back and start off the other.
And do you do one or two, or do you alternate first?
Um, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
There's an operational reason to do one over the other. Like when you're on the pushback, usually start. Well, like if you do a start at the gate, um, I'll start number one because as the captain, I'll be the one starting it,
You can
and I
see
can
it.
monitor
Yeah.
the left side. And then
Yeah.
when we push, the FO will start number two because then he can see the number two side. So it's just like a safety thing. You can monitor the engine start better from your side.
Okay. All right. So we'll go one, and then we'll hit start. We're gonna. What happens if you leave the prop condition lever in start to begin with? Does it matter?
It probably doesn't matter. As a procedure, we just we hit the start button and then we wait for NH movement and then we move the start
Okay.
feather up to feather.
Makes sense.
But yeah, the FADEC will control the fuel flow and all that.
Okay.
All right, now you can turn the number 1 bleed on.
Bleed.
And then the start select switch is extinguished, and you make sure the main battery load is less than 0.4, and then you can start the other one.
Where is the battery load? Is it right over here?
On the right, in your right MFD, the top left. So those are all zeros, so that's good. It would say bat like 0.4 or something, or
Okay.
less is what you want.
Okay, select 2, start.
There you go, move that up.
Okay, now I see the NH there, up there, okay.
Yeah. That ITT goes super high.
Have you flown the Majestic Dash?
I have.
I have flown that one as well. That one's, if you don't fly it that one often, I forget a lot of how the little nuances of that one. It's a good simulation, but
Yeah, this plane it's different. It's also a turboprop, so
no.
turboprop jet stuff is also different, so it really compounds that. There we go, now the number 2 bleed can go on,
Number 2 bleed.
and then the recirc fan would be on, and then you turn the APU off.
So, do I turn the gen off first and then power?
Yeah, gen,
then-
gen then power.
Okay. Perfect. Just do taxi light. That looks good.
So now if once the push is completed, or are you gonna push back, or is this gonna be a spin
No,
out?
this is just a, I don't need any push.
Okay, yeah, so then you just do your
Main
start
bus
setup.
tie off. Bleed air 1 and 2 on. Battery. Do you turn those off for takeoff?
Only if you need to.
Okay.
Usually for like if it's wind shear or if it's just too hot and heavy.
And then it's pretty accurate for the props to be in max for taxi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, props up to max for
All right, so standby, hydraulic pressure, PTU control.
Yeah, now as a procedure, we wait until the props spin up, which they have. You'd look up at the
Oh,
caution.
before you do the hydraulic control. Okay.
Yeah, the caution panel stuff. You see the AC gens will extinguish. They're in the middle of the caution panel. And so then you can turn on your AC stuff, because the fuel pumps, the hide pumps, and your anti-ice is all AC power. So you wait
Okay.
until the AC gens come online and then turn those things on.
Okay, pumps on. Feather. All right, so the hydraulic 3 ISO valve. It says go to open.
Oh yeah, this is for the control check.
Ah.
And so now if you press that button and then look up at your caution panel on the left side, you should see elevator press.
Elevator press, yep.
And so that confirms that it's just a normal, that light should come on when all 3 hide systems are pressurized, and then
Okay.
you just use that for your control check, because then you'll see you should see a little bit of a bump on the hide 3 pressure side on the MFD.
What's interesting is I don't have much.
Oh yeah, I don't see anything.
I don't see aileron control here.
Oh, ailerons is put your spoilers to taxi.
Oh, to taxi. Okay.
But yeah, on your controls, yeah, it only shows spoilers, and so if you turn all the way left and all the way right, you'll see the spoilers go up on this respective sides. But as far as aileron check, the ailerons are controlled by the cable. Oh yeah, they release a control lock.
Where's the control lock?
On the throttle quadrant, right above the throttles.
Oh, but that shouldn't. Shouldn't I be able to move my yoke left and right?
No, that control lock physically locks the ailerons.
Oh.
You can't turn the yoke left and right.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
why it's not moving.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know that was.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah. So
yeah.
usually,
Okay.
as the captain's full, that's once the pushback is or once the engines have started, we remove that.
Excellent.
So yeah. So then you can see the spoilers move, and then if the yoke moves, the ailerons are moving because they're connected by cables.
Yes. Yep. Perfect.
There you go.
All right. So then we can turn the ISO 3 off.
Yep. Yeah. So then once your control check is done, then turn that off,
Elevator travel. Okay.
and it's fine.
Now flaps for takeoff. Do you do typically 5?
Our airline typically does 15. The last check I flew with, he likes flat 5 takeoffs and flat 15 landings, like how the Canadians and Europeans do it.
Huh. So 10 would be like in the middle.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll see 10 for if we need the performance for
tr-
icing or it's hot.
I'll try.
Sometimes we'll see 10.
I'll try 15.
Yeah, usually 15 is what we do.
All right. So steering switch. That's down here. Windshield heat not required. If you're going up to flight level 240, do you turn on windshield heat?
Not on the ground through 10,000 feet.
Okay. For comm nav set, PFD check. And you turn the yaw damper on. That to me is kind of unusual.
Yeah, that's usually done during the taxi, yeah.
Okay, taxi light is
What it
required.
does, not a whole lot. It allows the autopilot to be engaged, that's what it does.
Yeah.
I've flown with, the yaw damper in op, and I hardly notice any difference in flight.
Oh really? Okay.
There's a little, you notice when you get into some turbulence, you notice a little bit more slushiness on the yaw axis. Because it does control the rudder a little bit to stop Dutch roll. It's not like we have a lot of Dutch roll anyways, it's a straight wing. But yeah, it doesn't really do much. My FL that went through training with me, he came from the PC-12, I think, and he says the yaw damper like locks out the rudder pedals basically. It's fully controlling it, it's crazy.
Oh wow.
We'd be doing turns in the air and I'm like, you gonna fix your rudder? It's like I thought that's what the yaw damper did. It's like, nope. This is a 2-axis autopilot.
Huh.
The autopilot doesn't control rudder at all.
All right. Let's get release parking brake here. And then we gotta do a. This is where it's not disconnecting from the taxi.
Yeah, and I could hardly figure this out too. I had to do
There
the
we go.
power
It was in reverser mode or something.
Yeah, you have to like press and hold a button.
I did a
back
slider on
there.
my joystick. I just had to hold it down, and then it went, and then it
Oh.
it caught it. So I guess it's all relative to what hardware you're using. All right. Again,
Yeah.
forgive the horrible scenery. I do not have a good Prescott.
And then you probably just need to be your nav source FMS for takeoff.
Nav source for FMS.
Yeah, so it's on Blue
Needle.
Needles.
Okay.
If you're going to navigate with the FMS, you're going to want to click that over to the left.
FS Economy's logging in. There we go. All right. Nav source. FMS 1. Oh wow, this taxiway is ortho only.
Oh, do you know what your takeoff weight is?
Ooh, I'm going a little fast. Takeoff weight probably is listed on here. Is that TFW? Or no, that's total fuel weight or total. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Gross. Okay, 53.
Okay.
53. Yeah, you could probably set 5, 10, and 15 for your bugs. Takeoff bugs.
Oh, for speed?
Yeah. Oh, they all just kind of populated.
Yeah.
You could just leave those first 3, and then the last.
Yeah, there's a hidden click spot just below the speed
Oh,
tape that brings up to these speeds.
interesting.
Oh.
I don't know what those last 2 would be for. Those are pretty low numbers. The
I
last,
think I
so if you
was
got,
rotating them. No, I wasn't. I don't know what they are, yeah.
yeah, the last 2 bugs, at least at our airline, we set the single engine climb speed for ice and no ice.
This taxiway looks like worse than Minecraft. We will need to order internet soon for you. Oh. Hello. I'm streaming. I can mute it if you want. Okay, just a second. I'll be right back, Craig.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
All
It's never felt
right.
so good to get off of a ortho taxiway in my life. Oops, I turned too soon. And actually didn't go all the way either. I got too impatient.
Oh, that's good enough.
Should be able to get liftoff, especially with flaps 15.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I'm going to do after this flight is install that enhanced runway textures or enhanced airport details. So that'll be good. I'm going to start my flight. All right, 1592 gallons of fuel loaded, 11 assignments loaded. Normally, FS Economy really does change your fuel level, but
Oh,
I'm not sure if it's doing it in this plane. If I go to weight and balance, it's showing fuel weight 10,000 pounds. I should have checked it before. I actually think this is what FS Economy just put in, but the FMS doesn't match it, but I guess it doesn't matter. 1,500 hours you have, Craig?
yeah.
Nice. All right, I'm going to set my parking brake for a second. And we'll go to checklist. Cabin crew's been notified. What do? You just hit a button and then you talk to the flight attendant saying ready for
Yeah.
departure?
Yeah, in the ARC-D, you rotate the mic selector to PA, push PA, make an announcement to the cabin where the flight attendants prepare the cabin for departure, and then you just leave it there. They'll call you and they'll say cabin secure. And you're like, okay, bye.
All right, so I've never seen that before. So down here, you rotate
Yeah.
this to PA
And then you push,
and then you push the
the PA button right above it, bottom left of those buttons.
right here. And then that's talking to your mic is live to the cabin. Or
Correct.
no, it's just to the flight attendants.
Well, that's to the cabin.
That's to
It'll
the
be an
cabin.
announcement over the cabin.
Okay.
And then when they call you, that light will go out and the light will illuminate on the call button, 2 buttons over to the right, indicating that it's just a private call with you and the flight attendant.
Okay, so the call right there, and then I can say, hey, brew me up some coffee.
Yeah, so if you want to call them, you do the same thing, put it over the PA, press call, they'll pick up, and then it's a hot mic with them.
Okay. Sweet.
And then you just have to make sure you flip your mic selector back to VHF1, or you're gonna make your
Not be able to
clear
talk
for yeah,
to
you'll say
ATC.
clear for takeoff, and the passengers are like, okay, cool.
All right, so here's the question of the day. Do you say with you to ATC?
No.
Oh, good. That is the correct answer. Thank you.
Yeah, just like center, airline, whatever,
1, 2,
flight level
3,
250,
you know,
descending 140.
10,000 climbing 14,000.
That's it.
Yeah, good. There's the with you emote. I would have been okay if you'd said with you, but then I would have been maybe silent for a moment as I, because the real world, it's constant. But
Yeah. I had a student pilot who started saying that one day. I'm like, where did you learn that? Because it wasn't from me. He's like, oh, I was watching this YouTube video. It's like, that's wrong.
yeah, yeah. Or if you just
Hilarious.
listen to ATC, you hear it all day, every day.
Yeah. Yeah, some people do it. I had a captain do it all the time. He'd say, with you. He'd say, any traffic in here, please advise at the non-towered airports. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Stop it. Yeah, the funny part is my friend who's a captain on a 737, he said that never bugged me until I met you, John Fly. And now it bugs him as a captain.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so bleed air 1 and 2 off. Would you do bleed air 1 and 2 off on this situation,
I
with
don't
it
think
being
so. How long's the runway and how hot is it?
it is 7,619 feet and the temperature is 26 degrees Celsius.
Oh, it is a little warm. Probably not. I don't know. We have, our performance would tell us if we need to or not. So that's,
Okay, that's as required, so
yeah. But it does, yeah, the bleed flow has to be min at least a minute prior to takeoff. Otherwise, you might get a bleed hot caution.
okay. Any collision to white. Transponders on. Flight controls checked free. Flight on the spoilers. I guess I should put on my landing lights.
And I think your anti-collision is off now. It's a 3 position. It's red, off, and white.
All right, you're right. Thank you.
There you go. And at the top right, actually, if you turn it off and look at the caution panel right there, you can see the flight data recorder. Caution light comes on when the anti-collision lights are off.
Okay, flight data recorder light on,
There you go. See?
and there we go. Ah,
That's how
so
you know
that
that's how you know the anti-collision lights are not on.
oh, okay, so that makes sense. So your recorder doesn't start recording until you turn on your white.
It'll do red or white.
Okay, so it's recording as you taxi
Yeah.
then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cajun cacti with y'all is fine. No,
With
not in my
y'all.
world. Not in my world. It is wrong. In fact, anyone that says with you is off of my Christmas card list. Actually, with y'all is fine. You're right. With you's the bad one, but with y'all,
Mm.
that's totally acceptable on the fish finder.
That's fine.
All right, are we ready to rock and roll here?
Yeah, looks like it.
Turn up the sound just a little bit for takeoff here.
Cancel your master caution.
Yeah, why is that on?
It's because we were playing with the flight data recording.
Oh. Playing with the flight data recorder. Also, I get a Christmas card now. Yes, exactly.
Hmm.
So do you go flight rating?
Yep, all the way to rating.
Okay.
Usually, we stop, you just go halfway, let them spool up a second, stabilize, and then go all the way.
Okay.
Now you see the
oh,
spoilers
oh.
are down, the torque is obtained, and auto feather is armed.
Little wobbly on the taxi. Or on the rollout era.
Enjoy your flight.
Gear up. At what point do you go flaps up?
1,000 feet, so depending on the engine failure turn procedure, but normally it's 1,000 feet above the field.
And you go all the way to 0, or do you increment them?
Just all the way to 0. You just hold your 10-degree pitch until the flaps are 0. Just make sure you don't overspeed anything.
One more flyby. Best flyby camera view in the sim business.
Yeah.
All right, at this point maybe we can do like, I guess our bleed air's not off, so
Oh yeah, so then now you can do your flaps up,
yeah, flaps are
props
up.
900,
Props
and
900.
bleed
I
flow to
keep-
norm.
Okay. And then up on the overhead, bleed to norm. That's good to know. And then I'm going to go into heading mode and just put on autopilot. Now, do you climb in IAS mode or?
No, and yeah, we forgot to set the flight director, but that's fine. Yeah, usually we set the flight director up for pitch hold, 10 degrees, with heading select, and then once you're ready to do the FMS nav, we'll press nav. And so if you push IS again, you'll get pitch hold,
Yeah, I saw that.
and so that's how we usually do it.
So pitch hold, okay.
And
And
yeah,
then
so once the
as
flaps
far
are
as the
0,
flight directors are concerned, how did you do those? Is that just on the side here? No, I don't know what that is. That was AP disengage. Okay, so where's the flight directors?
oh well, they come on automatically,
Oh.
when you start pushing modes.
You said we missed something though. With the flight director. All right, 10,000 feet.
Oh yeah, just miss setting it up before takeoff.
Oh.
Um,
All right. Oh, that taxi light should have been off.
but yeah, so now that the flaps are up, you can do your after takeoff checklist.
So would you put on windshield heat at 10,000 if we're going up to flight level 240 in clear weather?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Okay.
It helps with the strength of the window for like a bird strike up aloft,
Would
and
you-
also some defogging.
Okay.
Yeah, I was flying with the guy on a clear day, and it was like the one leg I was pilot monitoring, and I forgot to turn that on, and it's like, oh, your windshield's getting really frosty. Oh, forgot to turn that on.
Okay. Do you do warm up or norm?
No, just straight to norm.
Straight to norm. All right, after takeoff checklist, landing gears up, flaps are up, climb power is set, bleed air 1 and 2 on as required, on or as required. Standby hydraulic pressure can come off, and also tank auxiliary pumps 1 and 2 off.
Yep, so the auto feather, tanks, and hide press stuff.
So auto feather off. Okay. Engine temps. So here on engine temps, what are we looking for?
Just making sure they're normal.
The ITT?
We don't check anything right at the takeoff. We check oil temperature through 10,000. It used to be a problem. We had some bad regulators, I guess. But otherwise, we don't really have a check for that. You're just always monitoring engine stuff.
Okay.
If it's in the green, it's good.
Ice protection as required, cabin pressure and temp controls. All right, so cabin pressure, this is going to be up above, isn't it? Right
Yeah,
here
right above
on.
the landing lights.
So in this one, we've got your altitude at 7,000 something.
Yeah, mainly checking for the differential to be going up, which it is. Up at 250, you'll get 8,000 feet cabin altitude. You can the little chart right above it kind of tells you what you can expect to see as well.
Okay.
And you should get a cabin differential of 5.4 cents.
Okay. Is there a golf course I missed? Is there a flight director? I guess it comes on automatically when you engage
Yeah.
the modes.
Yeah, that little purple cross is that's the flight director.
When you
There's
when
no,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, there's no flight director button. They pop up automatically when you press some mode buttons on the autopilot.
When you said we missed setting up the flight director, though, what would that have entailed?
Yeah, so usually what we do is we set pitch hold up to 10 degrees with the first cleared altitude alt select and then heading select. Basically as you see it now. That's how we'd set up on the ground with the heading set to the runway heading.
All right, so now I'm gonna go into. I did not do the departure procedure, by the way.
Hmm.
So I'm
That's
gonna go direct to Juso. And then I'm gonna engage nav mode. There we go. I got too busy learning how to fly a plane that I didn't do the departure procedure because I was in heading mode. It's okay. We'll simulate as if ATC put me on a long vector for traffic.
exactly. That happens.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, that cabin pressure is checked. Passenger signs stay on until we get up to cruise, I imagine. I have the sounds down because we have our pilot friend here talking to us, but I can guarantee you if you're a sound person, this one has some of the best sounds out there. Daniela, I believe she's from South America. I don't recall which country, but she is fantastic at sound development.
Yeah, I liked the sounds for the short flight that I did. It was good.
The toilet seat sounds are fantastic, as well as the feathering of the props.
Yeah. Are you able to show me the toilet seat sounds?
You haven't seen them
yeah.
yet?
No.
All right. While we're in the very crucial phase of flight, I will come back here and
Yeah,
do the
I drank
very
too much
important.
coffee.
Yeah.
Gotta hear this.
All right, I got to turn the sounds up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Turn the sounds way up. There we go. Now listen to this.
How about the flush button on the right?
And the flush button. It's a double flusher.
Oh, that's not what ours sounds like. You hear like this big electric motor on ours.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, they need access to a Q400 to do the
Actually-
recording.
Actually, I don't know if I know what it sounds like in flight. I don't think I've ever used it in flight. That's what it sounds like on the ground. So that's probably accurate.
There you go. We're gonna have to. Maybe the sounds change if we're on the ground.
Yeah, we'll have to check that.
All right, we're at
All right,
flight
we got-
level 200.
Got 2992 set.
29992 is not set. So is there? Can I just click on the barrel button and it goes to that?
Yeah. Yes, you
Okay,
can.
there we go. Standard, and I think I've got these synced. Yeah, so I'm cheating. So it does the FO side.
And you think they would have that same logic on the heading bug, but they don't.
Hmm. Wait, can you sync these in the real plane? The altimeters?
Yeah. Oh, no. The
Oh,
altimeters would be
okay.
separate. The FO would have to do this too.
Okay.
Yeah, we need some handicaps when we don't have a second person. Yeah, shared cockpit would be amazing. The shared
think it's-
cockpit
I
with the
think it-
Majestic is great.
I think it's coming.
That's what I've heard.
In fact, it's probably just a matter of someone out there who is savvy with the existing shared cockpit program that we all use now, just to go in and just map it.
Yeah.
All right, so it is not giving me anything on the engine display.
What did we
Systems,
do?
nav. No, it's not.
Oh,
PFD. Oh, it's saying available. on everything that I select. Okay.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because oh yeah, that switch. Yeah, you're choosing, I think you're choosing what you want on your PFD is what that switch is doing.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be missing just with that middle panel, but okay.
No, if you want the middle panel, what you can
Ah,
do, it's
engine
those,
system, electrical systems. Ah,
yeah, no, if you want different stuff displayed, yeah, yeah, you can just,
there's engine. Ah,
if
perfect.
you put, yeah, that button is going to, that's only changing, it's putting it on your MFDs.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put your right MFD over to nav as well, then you can press and hold those square buttons and it'll pop up on the ED. So those 6 square buttons to the right of that is the FO's switch. Put his switch to nav as well.
Okay, that's so
And now
now.
when you press and hold on one of these systems buttons, it'll show up on the ED.
All right, so we'll do engine hold.
Yeah, you have to press and hold.
No, it doesn't. It's not simulated.
Oh,
If I just
darn.
hit, yeah, or maybe it is. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong.
Maybe you can't see. Maybe if your mouse is leaving it, it's not holding it anymore. I'm not sure. Maybe you'd have to zoom out even more if you can get a wider field of view to check it, but that's what it does. If you put both of those switches on nav and you press and hold
Oh
on the
yeah,
system
you're
button.
right. As soon as I let go, it does. It's
Yep,
working.
there you go. That's
Oh,
good.
that's awesome. Well
That's
done,
how that
Jack.
works.
Maverick 323 with you. Oh, snack. Welcome, welcome, Maverick. This circle view is brought to you by Maverick 323. All right, so what's your 5-year like plane that you want to be in 5 years? Anything else?
I don't have a specific plan. I'm really targeting airlines and bases.
Hmm.
Um, it's all about where you want to live, really.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ever thought about streaming?
I've tried a couple times with Microsoft Flight Sim. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I have a large enough following yet. It's kind of a bit of work. I was getting it to work. I think I was having some microphone issues,
It's
but I think that was
definitely
because, yeah.
I was just gonna say it's definitely something that you have to when you're starting out. You got to be happy with your 1, 2, 3, 4 viewers because you just got to get time and then. But one of the best ways to grow the base is to let me know that you're alive, and then we just throw out a little shout out on Discord or something. Bring in 4 or 5
Right.
more people, and then yeah. But nowadays it's very competitive. The streaming area is because of the new sim. There's
Oh
so
yeah.
many people that are streaming. It used to be back when I started in 2015. You know, there there were hardly any streamers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had 1 or 2 Twitch partners, and then you had 40 regular guys, and then another 40 or guys that were just very occasional, and now you've got hundreds, if not thousands.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to do now. It is. It will be fun. I was doing with some GA stuff. I was thinking I'd have some people over from like whoever watched my videos as well, and just people like that who'd want to learn some more.
Mm.
I usually, especially if I'm recording videos or streaming, I usually don't like flying stuff if I don't know, if I'm not like an expert on it, because I want to be able to answer questions properly.
Mm.
But I don't know.
Hey,
I don't
boss,
do a lot of,
go ahead.
I don't do a whole lot of flight sim anymore, just recreationally. I just kind of hop on every once in a while,
Mm.
especially with flight sim, like, oh, just go scenic fly around here. Now I got um this other friend, he's showing me some backcountry strips he gets to fly in and out of on the side, flying some GA. So we go into flight sim for that because the scenery's epic.
Mm.
Yeah, flight sim is great for GA right now.
It really is. In fact, speaking of, this is not GA, but this ortho photo, wherever we are right now, looks fantastic.
Yeah.
This ortho looks so much better than Prescott. So I'm going to look on the map to see where we are. So this is, and hello, Boss Bud Gaming. I don't know what happened there. Use some symbol or something. I don't know what that was. John's been denting my wallet for years. Yeah, we're going on 6 years of streaming. In fact, we're going to hit the 6 years of streaming, but we're coming up to the 6 year, the 5 year mark of partner with these guys. Several, like a dozen guys have been subscribing since the very, very beginning, which is phenomenal and very much denting wallets. Use too many exclamation marks. Oh, okay. I don't know why, but my Navigraph charts closed down. All right, so we are over Sedona. Or, yeah, Sedona is actually up ahead right there. In fact, we have fantastic Sedona scenery. There's the Sedona runway right there. But whatever city is south of Sedona, which is probably Sedona, and the airport's out that way, the ortho looks fantastic. But I think that's an ortho line right there. Cottonwood. Yeah, Cottonwood. That's okay. That's what, there's a Cottonwood airport there called P-52. It's beautiful scenery right there. 6 years of snacks. Exactly. I'm just glad that we have something that keeps us interested in the X-Plane category, because I'll be honest, I've been flying it less this last year than years past. I dabbled in the P3D, of course, but haven't done that in a long time. And I'm glad that we have something that I don't know. There's probably a dozen planes in X-Plane that I'll still fly for years to come, but there's so many aircraft that I've purchased over the years and will never fly again, seems like.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Yep.
Got all
777
the
Bob, I
A2A
think,
planes.
has tears in the chat because of the lack of P3D flying.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what he's crying about.
Yeah, I've pretty much abandoned Prepared.
There's been a
It's
lot
X-
of abandonment of Prepared.
Yeah, it's X-Plane and Flight Sim.
And there'll be even
And-
more abandonment once PMDG 737 comes out.
Oh yeah, that, and I'm still waiting for A2A to figure out whatever it is I need to do.
Are they even in development?
They are. I check into their forums every once in a while. They say there's like one critical thing that needs to be fixed or something, and then the floodgates will open with them with Flight Sim, they said.
Okay.
So that's cool. I think the first plane they've stated they're developing for Flight Sim is their Aerostar, so that'll be fun.
Oh, they should start with their 172.
Well,
I think those your initial project should be your base. Your base is your 172. Dang
Mhm.
it.
I think everyone's been clamoring for a multi for so many years now for the A2A, so they need to do their Aerostar. Plus, they own it, so they get some good research on it. Plus, they did a gear up with it, so they should be able to simulate gear up pretty well.
Hope the gear work in the Aerostar. There you go. The Aerostar is no longer in full development because they had a gear up landing.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering if that was gonna be a game changer for that. Wow.
So wait, a real world Aerostar?
Yeah, they own one. They have that. Plus, I think they still have their companion.
So they had a gear up landing, so they got rid of the. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the A2A now, so they were bringing over the Comanche. Yeah, I really do feel that they should choose their bellwether, and that it's like that PMDG awful choice to put their first X-plane aircraft as a DC-6. What
Seriously.
what kind of decision was that? That was failure from the get-go. I don't care how awesome of a plane it was.
Yeah.
And the thing is I have a feeling that they had the PMDG 737 in partial development for X-Plane, and then they abandoned it.
They must have.
That's only a guess though, because I haven't had coffee or tea with Randazzo in a long time.
We probably set cruise power now, props 850.
Oh, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
So is that just a matter of hitting MCR?
No, just
Oh.
slide the condition levers.
Oh, what happens when I click MCR?
It will. It basically, I don't know why you would do all these things, but yeah, it sets the torque to max cruise, but giving you 900 on the props. That could be good for ice. Yeah, if you get an ice buildup on the props, you'd want the props to spin a little faster, so you could have props 900 or 1020. I don't know if MCR works in 1020, but you could have props 900 and then push the MCR button.
Okay.
Something we used to do as well is like
But
we
wait,
used to
wait, back up a second. Is min 850 and MCR okay?
Yeah. When you
Okay.
set the condition lever to min 850, it automatically selects MCR.
Oh, okay. I hit the button.
Yeah, you don't have to push those buttons. Normal apps, you can just use the condition levers.
Okay.
The buttons are kind of like for supplemental stuff you want to do. Like if you're in cruise, but you want 900 props for ice, but you still want cruise power, you could move it up to 900 and then press MCR, so you get a cruise fuel flow,
Okay.
but you got props 900.
All right. They were planning on making the Aerostar their first MFS 2020 plane, but with the gear up, they put it on hold since they can't gather in flight data for the time being. So now I heard they're going to release the Comanche first. Well, hello. Why can't you develop a plane that you don't own? I'd say 90% of developers out there don't own the plane. If not 97% of the developers out there don't own the actual plane. I don't understand
Hey,
that.
you think they would just go source another Aerostar?
Well, that or, even if it was gear up, they can still get inside the cockpit.
Well, they probably didn't
To
have enough
record
flight
sound.
data.
But didn't they have flight data for their release for P3D?
Oh, they never released that
Oh, they
plane at
never
all.
released that plane. Oh, okay.
It was gonna, it was
That's right.
gonna,
That's
yeah.
right. I fly 2 other Aerostars. That's right. You'd think though
Yeah.
that they could still. That's a lousy excuse.
Maybe. I mean, the quality is very good, and so whatever, if they're not getting the data they want as accurately as they want it, they don't want to release the product.
Ah, that's a good point. I shouldn't be so harsh.
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess
everything
I
has
guess
fun with
I guess
them.
I guess I get a little triggered when they're not doing my favorite planes. Why aren't they surrounding their entire business model around John Fly? I just don't
They should.
understand.
They should, you got to go to their investors, talk to the board.
Come on, Scott. Scott, I met him at Flight Sim Expo.
Nice.
Yeah, I love A2A, and so I would love to have the A2A, but or the 172. The other one I would love to have from them is there's a Piper from them as well. The which one is it? The do they make a? Well, they make.
They got the Cub and the Cherokee and the
The
Comanche.
Cherokee. Yeah, I like the Cherokee. So yeah, 777 Bob. I think they should start with the 172. Yeah.
I'd also like a Baron. I was hoping they'd make a Baron.
Baron would be nice. I'd be less triggered by a Baron than I would be by something else. But
Also, maybe they should choose something that the Reality Expansion Pack hasn't done. Simcoders.
A2A is never gonna do X-Plane.
No. Well, at this point, I'd rather they didn't. I'd rather they did Flight Sim.
I think
'Cause
they
I-
were thinking about it though. At first they're like, no,
Yeah.
we'll never do it, and then all of a sudden, X-Plane started gaining traction with
Yeah.
X-Plane 11, and they're like, oh well, maybe we should. And then of course I don't know if they started, and then of course when Microsoft Flight Simulator came out, and everyone's like, okay, yeah, this is the future for
Yeah.
for a lot of people. Then that's the way they went.
Yeah, this Q400 is the only reason I reinstalled X-Plane. It's like, okay, fine. Because I highly doubt we're going to see a Q400 in Flight Sim for a very long time. So it's like, this will scratch my itch because I'm not reinstalling Prepare to get the Majestic. So I want this.
Yeah, I do miss some things with P3D, but the serious simmers would buy it, but people who are more casual wouldn't. Yeah, because they have
Yeah.
it comes with a 172.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, I have a problem. We're not on a direct path, so I want to find out where we're going. So we are going. It should say on the MFD where we're going, huh? We're going to Juso.
Yeah. Did we pass it? I think we
I think
passed it.
we're way past Juso.
16 Oh my god. Is there just another point down the line you can
Why
go
didn't it go to
directly
Juso? We're in LNAV mode.
If you go to your nav page on the FMS.
So nav page. Oh, because we have a link, no link.
Yeah, so it just kept going.
We're
So I would just
yeah, we'll just go direct to Adumi, but we're not too
Yeah.
far off of our path.
Okay. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you just press 5, yeah.
In fact, it's really pretty close. There you go. Last time
Oh,
I read
that's good.
Majestic is not happy to get the Q400 400 into BillSim. They call it BillSim. I've never heard of BillSim. Okay, I'm going to use that term from now on. BillSim. BillSim. They're not happy. So they are trying to get the Q400 in. Okay. It's me, Brad, checking back in halfway through the boil. Pre-boil gravity a little low, 1.043. Now, are you checking that just with the tilt? Because the tilt will be affected by temperature. Or are you using a hydrometer? Easier to say than MSFS or MFS. Yeah, BillSim. I like BillSim. Yep. So, Craig, in your reinstallation of this fine X-plane and also this particular aircraft, can you do me a favor, or sometime in the next week or so, can you attempt to do a hold in your sim and let me know how it goes?
Yeah.
Because it's all in the FMS, but I didn't do it right.
Well, can we do one just right now? How would this work? Like a present position hold. Go look at your FMS. You can also just click on it and pull up a 2D panel, might be easier. Yeah, go to maneuver on the right.
Maneuver on the right. Where's that?
Yeah, it's a button on the right side. It's the line select key R2.
Oh, maneuver. Okay. Holding define.
Yeah. And the stream is a little delayed, so I'm a couple seconds.
Or we could do a direct hold, I guess.
No, that's too away. Just do holding definition.
Okay, holding definition.
And then fix, click on that.
Okay.
And see if it can do present position.
Let's try next page. It's got...
Yeah. I don't know.
There is a waypoint near us called Uper, but we'd have to put it into our flight plan, I guess. You know what I could do is I could
You can just type it in.
I could do a hold
Uper.
over our initial approach fix.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
Or you're right. I could type in Uper right here, huh?
That should work. Yeah.
Let me try that. So, Yankee, Oscar, Papa, Romeo. Is that gonna go? How does that work? Is the flight plan like?
You should always be able to read DTO back to your flight plan stuff.
So do I hit enter?
Yeah, it should be enter, I would imagine. At the bottom right. There we go.
All right. It's not turning now, is it? No.
No,
Okay.
it won't. So then you can set up basically however you want it, your inbound, or if it needs to be an outbound specific, that's inbound and direction, and if it's right or left turns,
Okay,
and then if you want to set it up on time or distance, what kind of units.
So how would we execute this?
So yeah, if it's just like that, just a standard hold, you would just hit, well, if you want to go
Direct
right now,
hold?
yeah, DTO hold at the bottom left if you want to go there. So yeah, let's do that.
It's doing that that funny thing where it goes a little bit left first before it turns right.
That's realistic.
This is a game changer with regard to VATSIM. Because sometimes
yeah.
in the middle of a wild situation, they will just say, "Can you hold?" You know, especially on a Friday night ops, they'll tell you to
Mm-hmm.
hold over some random waypoint, and
Now, I
it's
don't know
very
if
difficult
it's,
to do in other aircraft. So if this does
is
it,
it gonna hold, go back to your FMS?
it's going towards Uper.
It
FMS.
is, but does it should say, well, it should say, okay, next hold. Okay. Yeah, the next waypoint is hold. Yeah.
Now,
All right, it should do
granted,
it.
this is not very economical, but
Yeah. Well, sometimes real flights, this happens, you know.
yeah.
In the sim, a lot, they'd say, oh, there's this 172, he busted his nose gear and he stopped, both crossing runways, so you have to hold it. It's like, oh, of course. And then you would not believe how many times that's happened to me in real life. It's like, what is this, the simulator? They'd shut down all the runways and you have to hold. It's like, seriously? And it's like it's not like a day like this
Hmm.
where you're going to some airport that's not near anything else. And it's like, okay, we have no alternate. So we only have X amount of fuel before we have to divert, and the nearest airport is a military base. It's like, this could get exciting really quick. They had that problem with Vegas. I think when the shooting was happening, because
Hmm.
there's like a day VFRs, all these guys are coming in with no alternate fuel, and
Hmm.
they all have to hold. It's like they almost had to send Southwest and some guys over to Nellis and whatnot. That would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. I guess they could land at Henderson or North Las Vegas, but
Yeah, if they got enough runway and parking spots.
be a
Yeah.
little bit hairy. John, what is the
Yeah.
pot you were using for your brews? I'm using an Anvil Foundry 10 gallon unit from Blickman Engineering called an Anvil Foundry. And I did a live stream once and it was fantastic. I made so many mistakes on that brew. It was hilarious. No, I don't have a 6.5. No, I've got the 6.5 only does small batches like 2.5 to 3 gallons. And so that's what It's Me Brad had. He's doing 2.5 to 3 gallon batches, and yeah, I'm doing 5 gallon batches now. And in fact, I'll show you. This is digressing from the Q400. Let's see if it
Yeah,
does the hold.
I don't think it's holding.
Did it
It,
go out a minute and then it's gonna come back, or did it just
I'm
completely?
not sure because I think by default it was just set up to do a direct entry. So, like once you cross the waypoint, we should have seen the hold symbology
Yeah, it didn't
on the
work.
MFD, and yeah, that's weird.
All right, well, I'll go direct to our a Doomy, but play with that and see if you can figure that out. I'll
Yeah,
see if it's because I had high hopes just then, but I think it let
and
us
now
down.
what we can do for some additional testing is we can set up the hold at your initial approach fix. We don't have to activate it, but you can arm it, and then we can see if all the proper symbology comes up, and then you can just
Hmm.
disarm the hold as well and just go straight through it.
You loved the live stream brew? Yeah, it was so funny. I had like leaks and I had flies that flew into stuff, and it was hilarious. But I'll change my camera view just briefly here. Oh, I need to set up my other camera view, so let me do that right now. So let's do a chat scene, and then we add a video capture device, cam, boom. So and we make this transform hit screen. Yeah, so over here, after I get all the stuff off of it, this is my keezer, or some would call it a kegerator. I can just pour a fresh brew right here. I've got 2 kegs in there and 2 CO tanks. Yeah. And that's all courtesy of my Anvil Brewing. That's on my list. There you go. All right, we are 122 miles from Adumi. So if I go over to Navgraph chart. Oh, maybe we just didn't do something right on that hole. We'll find out. I made a Keezer and it died 9 months later. Brand new freezer. Oh man. And the other thing, Brad, to put on the Christmas card list, the Santa list for this year or next is a temperature control unit. It's not that expensive. It's like $40-50. And let me see the name of it. Hold on. Inkbird. Yeah, an Inkbird controller is what controls my temperature. So I set my kegerator keys or whatever to 39 degrees, and it maintains within a few degrees range. It turns the chest freezer on or off. So technically, I could make a lager. I've never made a lager, but I could with that doing the fermentation inside of this. But the house party is tomorrow, Scotty P. I'm sending around a private jet to pick you up tomorrow morning, so be ready.
Okay. How long is this flight?
We've got 122 miles to the initial.
Oh, perfect. That's about the time to starting our descent planning.
Okay, good. So yeah, here we are on the chart. We're going to Adumi first, and then Heblo. Need to be at 8,900 at Heblo, and then on into intercept for an LPV RNAV GPS 23. So,
Okay.
talk me through what we should do here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, this will be extra easy because we're just going direct to a fix and then just navigating all the way in. It's not vectors or anything, so that's easy.
I should verify
just-
that we have that in our flight plan. So
Yep.
next,
flight
Adumi,
plan-
Adumi, Heblo, RNAV 23. Yep.
Yeah, the right way to make sure it's loaded in properly is flight plan and then press menu and clearance.
Sorry, menu and then clearance.
Yeah,
What is this
Menu.
doing?
and then clearance at the top. This is to make sure that everything's loaded in properly. So you see how it says Adumi RNF23. If you didn't actually see those words, then it wouldn't be fully loaded. And like maybe you loaded the procedure, but then you took out a key waypoint or something,
Okay.
and it invalidated the approach. It probably wouldn't be there. So we always check the clearance of flight plan menu clearance page.
Okay.
It's like, okay, that's what's shown in the FMS, so it should fly it properly.
I'm glad they
And then
modeled
we'll
that.
go. Yeah, and then we'll go brief the plate and do all that stuff.
So here's the plate. So what
Yeah.
would give me a briefing here for
Yeah,
Farmington.
if it was for we're flying the approach in IMC, then let's say it's chart 12-3, the RNAV 23, final approach course is 233, decision altitude looks like 5799, so we'd have 5800 set. Touchdown zone elevation of 5505, missed approach up to 8000 direct XR and 263 to hash it and hold. And I'd scan through these notes. Got some altimeter setting notes. And then minding the temperatures. If it gets below negative 25C or above 54C, then
LNAV, VNAV not authorized. Okay.
yeah. But what are the mins that we're doing LPV mins, so that doesn't matter then? Okay. Pilot control. Yeah, it's a 3-degree glide, so that's normal. Rails happy on the right side. We need 7-8 miles visibility. We look for notes at the bottom. Number 1 notes, decision altitude. All cats. Oh, okay. So the number 1 note for the LPV minge, if we're using the Plata Colorado altimeter setting, you'd have to change your minge, but otherwise it's all straightforward.
Okay. I like how up here it tells me I can control the lights on 118.9. which
Yeah.
is the tower
118.
frequency. Click, click, click.
Yeah, that's because it's not a 24/7 tower.
Yeah, it's I remember during my flight lessons, um, I I was about to do that. Thank you. During my flight lessons, I was flying from Oakland to Napa at night,
Oh,
and we turned on the lights with the microphone. It was really cool, and did a couple touch and goes at Napa.
do you have a private pilot?
Nope, I
Oh,
got
okay.
30 hours as a student, then got married, had kids. Just kind of didn't do it for a while. Couldn't afford it, and
Yeah.
then when I went to go do it again, they denied me a medical because I had a heart attack.
Ah,
Yeah, so in 2016 I had a heart attack and I had to they had to put a stent in, and so I could probably go through a lot of legal wrangling and try to get it, but
well, what about
I can't do the
the new?
sport pilot
No, but
because that's self-certifying you're healthy, and I've
yeah.
already told the FAA that I'm not.
And so does that also send you out from the basic med?
I think basic med is you had to have been grandfathered if you'd had a license, though, I thought.
Yeah, okay, yeah, basic med. Yeah, you had. I think you had to hold a medical first.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's people that say if I go and I get all of the heart tests, the EKG and
Yeah.
all the testing, that I could submit that it's 5 years later, I'm
Right.
healthy, I could I could probably get it, but then again every year I have to go through these tests probably,
Oh, yep, yep. Probably not
which
worth it.
I think if I had oodles of money and loads of money for a plane. I don't know. It's kind of a depressing subject, but
Yeah.
fortunately, believe it or not, through Twitch, I've met real world pilots that I've gone flying with, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. I've got over 100 hours in the real world with people I've met from Twitch.
Nice. Yeah.
Over 100. And, granted, 70, 80 of those are with one guy, but we've done a lot of flying together, Max and
Yeah.
I. So,
That's a good setup.
all right, sorry, we're way past top of descent probably.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's go to the flight plan page.
A flight plan.
Oh yeah, press FPL. And then we're going, yeah, let's go next. Let's see if we got altitudes where we're going to. Okay, yeah, DME 11. Okay, yeah, so we can set up a VNAV. So go to your VNAV button there.
VNAV button here.
Yeah, in the FMS.
Oh, in the FMS.
Yeah, in the
Okay, so
FMS.
VNAV, okay.
Yeah, yeah. That, and then just target vertical speed at the top, right?
Okay.
Yeah, press that button.
Okay.
And it should, the real
Auto
FMS should show
populate.
you. Well, it should, at the below it, it should show you what you need to do, but just type in 1800 to start with.
Okay.
Enter.
Okay.
Okay, yep, 4 minutes to Todd, so that's perfect. All right, so from here, let's stay in the FMS, go to nav, and then maneuver. We'll set up that hold just to see if this works. Holding definition. Fix, make it a Doomy 5.
And do we have to
Uh-huh.
reset our altitude on the MFD?
Yeah, we do before we go down, but we got a couple minutes still.
Okay. Go ahead.
But yeah, just press arm hold.
Arm hold.
Yeah, at the bottom left.
All right.
And then press nav on the
Nav.
FMS.
Okay.
It's kind of like our default page. Okay, so we see hold is armed. And then on the MFD, we should see the hold symbology around a Doomy.
Yep, I see it.
Okay. Yeah, so you could disarm the hold now if you wanted to.
I should probably
You could probably do that.
sorry, disarm the hold?
Yeah, so go back to on the FMS nav. Oh, yeah, we're already there, so go to maneuver. And holding, okay, holding definition. There should have been a disarm hold button. Press return.
It's okay if the hold's armed if we're going to a Doomy, right?
Yeah, but if we don't want it to hold, maybe we can probably go back later and change it. But yeah, go to nav
It's got the hold.
and yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know why we can't disarm it. That's
Oh,
interesting.
no, there's arm approach. Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, we don't want that. Okay. Well, let's dial the altitude alerter down to probably just for what we're doing, just dial it down to the initial or to the final approach fix altitude. And just let it VNAV all the way down like that.
All right, I'm going to get what that altitude is. So at, you want the altitude at a Doomy? Well, we're supposed to be at there's a Heblo initial approach fix, and we're supposed to be at 8,900. So should I just put that in?
Yeah, that's fine.
It does say no procedure turn. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I shouldn't need it. What's the airport code for this?
Kilo Foxtrot Mike November. All right, 8,900 set. So in VNAV mode, it should go down automatically? Or how
Yeah.
do we, because we're not in VNAV mode though. So do I have to hit
Yeah.
VNAV?
Yeah, you do. It shouldn't work though if we're not within 2 minutes of taper descent. And also press Alt Select.
Alt select set. Okay. Yeah, it's not letting me press VNAV.
Yeah,
Yet.
and if we're outside of that 2-minute window on the PFD, it should say like flight director, it should say FD mode inhibit when you try pushing VNAV, but it's not doing that.
Okay.
But you'll get a message when you're at top of descent alert within the 2 minutes, and that's when you press VNAV.
Okay.
Okay, so we got that set. You probably just need to set your landing bugs and your minimums now.
And how do I do that?
So the landing bugs, it's the
I could probably just click on that hidden spot again.
yeah. I'm curious to see what it comes up with.
Okay, it just hit 126, 111.
26. That's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the minimums. Do you know how to set them manually though? It's on the left of the screen.
Forgot. So speed
Um,
bugs right there.
Yeah, so you press the select button and then you spin the wheel,
Okay. Yep.
and so that's how you do that.
Okay.
And then so then the middle one is the barrow, and then the one below that is how you set your DH and MDA. So we never set the DH unless we're doing Cat 3. So you just click it over to MDA, and then just dial down what your minimums would be barrow wise.
So what do I put in the okay, so decision height is 294.
Yeah. Well, I usually use the MDA side, not the
Yeah, okay, that didn't flick. There we go. Yeah, the MDA, there we go. So MDA 294, which I guess 300.
yeah, you just round up.
Perfect. Now I want to change my range here on the navigation display. So
That's right below the FMS.
I gotta get out of the
Your
letter. Parking brake.
parking brake lever is covering it a bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do you usually have it on? Like,
Just whatever's comfortable, but by the time we're getting close, then I have it set all the way into 10. I usually like to see the next waypoint.
Yeah.
And yeah, that looks like, it's always good to do an MFD reasonableness check, make sure
it
the
looks
route
good,
actually looks good.
not
Okay,
spaghetti.
so there's a message. So we should be able to press VNAV now. Did we press message on the next to the num? Yeah, it'll say top
Okay, so it
descent
says
alert.
SELV nav. And then message.
Yeah, that's out select
of
and then
descent.
VNAV is armed.
Okay, so top of descent. And all right, there we go. Are we good?
Yep, yeah, so you got VNAV arm. So you'll see your V path come in there just to the left of the altitude tape. And then once you start going down, you got to pull the power back so we don't overspeed.
And would we go to low? Or-
We just whatever's necessary to maintain about this speed. So the red tape is VMO, and so we
Okay.
usually do VMO minus 10.
Okay. And then
Just to get a
prop
10-knot buffer.
condition.
You just leave it at 850.
Okay. This is fantastic. You're very kind to help me today.
Yeah. Yes, you'll be checking ATIS, the landing performance, if we can do reduced NP or not. We set up the bugs, landing speeds minimums, brief the approach, and then that's it. Then you run a descent checklist. There's your VPAS, so you want to start pulling your power back a bit.
Okay.
Power to 37, yeah, try 37% torque.
Okay, I'm at 33, 37, 38, 37. Okay. And now I'm going to attempt to pull up the METAR
Okay.
for KFMN in the chat room. Let's see if it comes up. There we go.
Perfect. Wind's calm and clear. Look at that.
10 statute, temperature 17, dew point -01, 3012.
Airspeed's getting a little close. Might need to pull power just a bit more.
'Kay.
Actually, it's starting to hold it. Yeah, see, look at that. 37% torque is perfect for maintaining a 1800 foot per minute descent usually.
Yeah, I pulled back to 23%. And it's dropping a little bit, 257. So pop that up.
Yeah, you probably go back up into the 30s again. You just wanted to get a little bit of margin away from VMO.
Okay, so we're at 30.
At the same time, we have to make sure we slow properly. So a good trick to use if in a normal descent and if you don't have an extreme tailwind plus being heavy, about, what is it, 2 nautical miles for every 10 knots you need to slow is a good judge.
So by the time we get to the initial, we should probably be around 180.
Well, this initial probably 200 knots. Let's
Okay.
see, FMN. What's the approach we're doing? RNAV, which runway?
A 23.
RNAV 23. RNAV 23. So we got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it's quite a distance out in final. So coming up to a Doomy, probably like 210 just to start with.
Okay.
And so how fast are we going now?
260.
260, we got to 210.
And I'm gonna go.
Okay.
I'm gonna set the barrow now.
Yeah, set the local altimeter. Yeah, so about 10 miles out from Adumi, just go flight idle.
10 miles out from Adumi, do that.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 3017 set. All right. And you're saying go flight idle. Okay. So flight idle.
Oh. Once you're 10 miles out, are we 10? Is that 10 miles now?
Yeah, we're 10 miles out from Adumi.
Okay. Cool. And you notice since you changed your barrow, it's kind of fluctuating your VNAV a bit. A trick you can do is
Okay.
when you need to make a big altitude change, press vertical speed on your autopilot, and then you go into VNAV, and then you press VTO and enter. It gives you a new glide path from your present position.
I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna review my own video just so I can try that.
Mm-hmm.
I know one in Hawaii who would take you on a flight. Would he take me on a flight? Oh, okay. I am going to Hawaii. I am going to Hawaii. Of course, a customary flyby here on the descent is necessary. Did you ever try the original Q400 on here from FlyJ?
No, I've looked it up. It was too not good.
Yeah, it
Not
was
realistic.
fun. but it wasn't. It was his first. He had to start somewhere, and
Right. I think I knew. I think I came into the Majestic before I even knew about that one. Yeah, because I got the Majestic probably a year or two before I even got this airline job. So that's what I had. I was doing the airline to sim training programs about those.
oh, there's the signature turn to the right. Oh, it's
Yeah.
doing the hold.
Oh yeah, because we never disarmed the hold. So now go into
That's fine.
maneuver.
Let's do the hold, right?
Yeah. Well, now that we're already past the fix, you can just go into maneuver and press proceed. Because I think it's gonna stay in the hold now forever.
I want to try to. I want to get the plane to go around before I proceed, though. I want-
Okay, yeah, just
yeah.
keep your speed at
This is
200
cool. It
knots.
worked. In fact, I'm tempted to do one circle. Then, well, yeah. No, that's good. I don't know why it didn't work for that one waypoint, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, go ahead
So
and get your speed back up about 200 knots, and then also go into vertical speed mode and keep descending down. Otherwise, we're going to be high on the approach.
all right, we want to descend down to 7,600.
Yeah, whatever the min is here. Let's see, we're going to be inside of Doomy. Yeah, 8,900 is the minimum between the Doomy and
Oh.
Heblo. So yeah, just keep it at 8,900 like you have it in the alerter.
Okay, 8,900. But do you want me in VS here? I thought
Yeah,
VNAV was going to take care of us.
Well, the VNav's not working now because we're on this
Hold.
hold. Yeah.
But we were high though at the Doomy on the
Yeah,
VNAV.
what was the Doomy set to 10,000 something? Yeah, that's interesting that it brought us in at 14.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll keep it at 8,900, even though we're at 14,000 right now.
Yeah, set the alert at 8,900.
I better
and then
stay in the
vertical
hold.
speed Yeah. Yeah,
So I'm
vertical
gonna
speed down like
bring
1,800.
yeah, I'm gonna bring that back up to 8,900, and then I'll vertical speed down. You say 1,800 is okay for passengers?
Yeah, 1,800 feet. Yep, even
And then
2,000
select
sometimes.
is there. I'm
Yep.
hoping that it starts my turn here in just a moment. So there you go. Another reason to hold to get down to 8,900.
Yeah, now you can bring the power back now that we're descending faster.
Oh yeah, you got to watch this thing
Mm-hmm.
because she's slippery. What would your speed be in a hold typically?
200.
Unless specified ATC. Would ATC ever specify a speed in the hold, or no, they don't care?
I don't think so. I don't think so. They would just specify distances really. And sometimes they'll give us a
Minutes?
hold. Yeah, minutes
1
or
minute
distance,
yeah.
and sometimes we'll request longer legs. It's like, we're going to be here for like 15, 20 minutes. I don't want to make 1 minute legs. Let's do 10-mile legs or something like that, 20-mile legs.
Oh, you can do 20-mile holds?
Yeah, if you're just going to be holding forever, it's like you,
To get that Cessna off the runways?
yeah.
Oh.
So the passengers aren't constantly like turning every 60 seconds.
All right, Adumi is 7 miles away. We're at 12,600 feet. We need to be at around 8,900. I probably could proceed to Adumi at this point, and we might be close at 1,800 feet per minute, but I don't know.
Yeah, when you press proceed, it's going to go to Adumi and then proceed inbound. So you can, if you don't want to do another turn, and you could even increase your descent rate to 2,000 if you wanted to.
You know what? I'm just going to let this do the hold. We're testing.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it get down to 8,900 on its own comfortably.
Okay.
And we're simulating there's some aardvarks on the runways, and they're clearing the herd of aardvarks.
Exactly. Okay, so this airport's at 5,500 feet, so we are already below 10,000. So we always do our approach checklist. Landing, coming down, you do at 10,000 AFE above field elevation. So at 15,000, we would have, done that, turn the lights on, chime, run the checklist.
So you just hit the PA button?
No, there's a chime button.
Oh,
right in the
chime.
middle.
Chime. We're late on the chime. We would have done that at descent probably, huh?
Yeah, well, at 10,000 above field, set 15,000 feet.
All right, altimeter set. Approach. We've done the briefing. Cabin ice protection as required. Would we turn off ice protection, window heat, or anything at this point, or just leave it on? I guess we were
If
talking
it's
about.
getting warm,
Yeah, it's warm. But all right, approach
yeah,
lights.
our little procedure is if it's greater than 10 degrees Celsius by 10,000 feet, then we'll turn it off. If not, just leave it under the ground.
Would I turn on my? I turn on my auxiliary pumps. Standby hydraulic.
That'll be, yeah, that's normally in the when we run on final, the landing flow.
Oh, it's in the approach checklist. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's probably because we're a single pilot in the
Alright,
sim and we don't have a flow,
Let me
so
interrupt
we'll get
you.
it done.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
just so to go direct to the next waypoint. What do I do? Just
Press maneuver on the right side.
maneuver. Proceed.
Yeah, maneuver proceed.
Okay. Oh, it's turning to the right for some reason.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we didn't catch it soon enough, so it's
Oh,
gonna do one
and we're
more turn.
stalling. So
Yeah,
I've
just
got to
get your
speed
power
back
up.
up.
Oh, why is it still Okay. Are we above or below our altitude?
We're way below
81.
our altitude right
Oh
now.
yeah, why is it going below? That's weird.
Okay, proceed. I guess I could have done a TO to Heblo instead of proceed.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe because of the speed dropping, it was like I better descend to maintain. It was smarter than the pilot.
Nah, I don't think it's smart. It will just stall you right there.
But the question is where is it going? It's going. Is it going to the hold? No, next is Heblo. It's
yeah,
gonna
it's
do one more
doing-
turn to Heblo.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
So
so
in this
one more
case,
turn
I
will come up.
probably would have disconnected the autopilot and taken over in the real world.
Possibly, yeah.
Oh.
And I think it's a simism, at least on this model, because you have the autopilot's on and it's alt captured.
Yeah.
It should have stopped you at 8,900. It shouldn't be going down like that.
Simism.
Yep.
Simism or John Fly error. One of the two. Is it gonna turn back? Yeah, I think it will.
And I feel like it doesn't accelerate fast enough, even though we're at 850 props. It's like it should be accelerating faster than this. Because you're even in over travel technically. It shouldn't. Should be better than that.
Satellite internet is the last option. I'll call you in a little while. My mom's like, what should we go with? It's interesting that it's doing it's really going out before it turns back to Heblo.
Yeah.
There it goes.
Yeah, you just have to hit proceed before you hit that holding waypoint. Otherwise, it's gonna just
turn
it
around.
won't
Yeah.
proceed. Yeah, it needs to. You have to press proceed before you hit the waypoint.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
but
you
as
could
far
have. You
as-
could have just.
You think it's going to go to Heblo now, right?
Yeah, and
it
that's
says
verified on the
NX?
nav page.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. 2 is hold and next is Heblo.
And by the way, it went back up to 8,900.
All by itself. Wow.
Yeah.
So it's just programmed not well enough. It should have been stronger to capture the altitude. Because that's what the plane will do in real life. It'll let the speed decay. It'll capture the altitude perfectly.
We're certainly putting this thing through its paces, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with it.
Okay, so we've already got the pumps 4 on. That's good. Yeah, it looks like there's like a 15-mile final or something like that.
I forgot to let the passengers up.
Yeah, that happens in real life too.
It's a VIP party back there. They didn't even
Yeah,
have
exactly.
their seatbelts on.
They're gonna get up and use the bathroom anyways if they want.
Yep.
We use the no smoking switch as a 5-minute before landing chime. That was a flight attendants. You have at least about 5 minutes left to landing.
That's cool. I was flying with a buddy of mine. We were flying in Pennsylvania, and we tuned in the ATIS, and it was kind of a little bit scratchy, but we thought it kept saying caution bladder activity, and we were laughing so hard because we all needed to go to the bathroom, and it was saying caution bladder activity. But no, come to find out it was caution glider activity.
Oh, that's funny.
But our minds were so focused on needing to go to the bathroom that we caution bladder activity.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Okay, so let's set the altitude alerter down to 7,600. That's the finer approach fix.
7,600 set. So do VS.
Well, don't do anything yet.
Oh,
So,
sorry.
and then set alt select.
Alt select. It's on pitch hold now, so I screwed up.
Just press alt.
Alt. Okay. Oh yeah, because we got to stay at 8,900 on this way, on this leg
Yeah.
to head blow.
Yeah, so
Oh,
we'll just stay
getting
here.
getting slow again. So
Yeah,
gonna
getting
add
slow.
power.
Okay, so now that we're out of the hold, go to your VNAV page.
VNav.
And then press DTO at the bottom right. Oh,
VTO.
Heblo? No, yeah, VTO. Actually,
VTO.
Heblo is higher, so never mind. Oh yeah, because we got lower than the planned altitudes.
Because I'm not controlling my speed well enough.
Yeah, so what we'll do, go ahead and just press VNAV now then.
Okay.
And
VNav?
it'll just, yeah, we'll just let it capture it as it comes down. Yeah, on that flight, on that thing.
And nothing's coming in yet.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Let's see what happens after we cross Heblo then.
Yeah, because at Oddley or whatever it's called, that's when it's gonna go to 7,900. I'm gonna
Yeah.
change my range here down to that beautiful 10 notch.
Yeah. All right, and set your altitude alerter down to 76. Oh yeah, that's why the VNAVs are not working. Set the altitude alerter to 7,600.
Okay, 7,600 set.
Now
And that
press VNAV.
VNav. Okay, now it's working.
Okay. I'll call your gear and flaps if you want to do that.
Yep. And I'm at 190, so I'm gonna slow down a little bit.
Yeah, just keep it between 190 and 200 is ideal. All right. So we're laterally established, we're alt captured, approaching, well, the glide path. Yeah, approaching the glide path. So from our guidance, you can set the field elevation now. So go ahead and, what is the field elevation? Pop this out. Go ahead and set the altitude alerter to 5,600.
5,600 set.
And then press and hold on the alt select to get rid of it.
Alt select's gotten rid of.
Okay.
Better
And so
just
that'll give
gone.
you a chime when you're 1,000 above the field, which is when you should be configured by. So that's 56. So 7,600 will drop the gear.
At 7,600, we'll drop the gear at Oddley.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of a technique I usually do about 2,000 AGL is when I lower the gear.
Says 2,500. Turning the sim
And make
sound
sure,
up a little bit.
yeah. And then make sure your bleed flow is set to min.
Lead flow min. Okay, we're at 180 right now, and we are 6 miles out, so I should probably
let's
start
do-
slowing down.
Your speed is, yeah, you can slow a little bit. Go gear down.
Gear down.
And then flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
And then usually maintain 170 knots to a 5-mile final.
Okay, we're 2.4 out from the next fix. I gotta add a little power.
All right, now
5
we're
miles.
close.
We're right there, about 5 miles. So
Okay, so pull the power back a bit and then do flaps 10.
flaps 10 set.
Yeah, now let's get it below 160 knots and then we can do flaps 15.
Okay, 164 dropping. Seems like it's coming in a little. Oh, we got a little bit off on our altimeter.
There you go. Yep, flaps 15.
I should probably not be messing with Barrow, but flaps 15. Waypoint
And then
alert.
Yep, there's the 1,000 feet. So let's do flaps 35 now, 150 knots.
Flaps 35, 150 knots. Maintain that.
Yeah.
140,
Yeah, and now we can just keep slowing down to final approach speed.
which is 126 plus 5.
Well,
131 maybe.
111.
111. Holy cow.
These are the open and solid bugs. So solid bug is for ice. If you have ice on the plane, you do 126. If your wing's clean, you do 111.
Oh, wow, that's slow. Okay, we got
Yeah, I got it.
flaps. And I can disconnect right now?
Yep, disconnect the autopilot. Yep.
And
And you
yaw
can press
damper?
no, just autopilot.
I disconnected the yaw
Oh,
damper.
that's fine. It's fine.
All right, I'm going to pitch
is
up a little bit, and I'm adding a little bit of power because it seems like the terrain is...
Yeah, with this much speed reduction, you're going to need some nose up trim, pitch the nose up. The flaps 35 approach, you'll be about pitch angle of 0, basically, to maintain. And about 25% torque should be all you need.
100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
There we go. And yeah, just get into disc. There you go. That's all you need.
That was a little bit hard, but it was
Yeah, normal
it was
landing.
the first time that I had done a yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, and with these gates that they have, you shouldn't have to go out of the disc range at all for the rest of the flight, for the rest of the time now.
Okay, flaps coming up. I don't know if I want to turn right. Oh, again, there's no scenery at Farmington, so I'm turning left.
Mhm.
It's fine. Sorry, I missed that last thing you said.
You should just be able to stay in the disc range now.
Okay.
You don't need to go above flat idle, and you don't have to go into reverse.
Okay, so I guess I can put my taxi spoilers on.
Yeah. In real life, we'll do this after we clear the runway, but yeah, after landing, all we do is just, split between the two pilots, the spoilers to taxi, figure out the landing lights, and then flaps up and radar off, or radar standby.
So John's
Everything
got to
else
work
is-
on his runways look awful, so I've got to fix that. That's my next project. All right, we're stopped. So sorry, I missed all that again. So here we're gonna probably turn off what landing lights. You said you splitting up the duties between.
Yeah, the
Thank you
captain will
for
handle
flying.
the lights
Bye
and
bye.
the spoilers, and then the first officer raises the flaps, and make sure the bleeds are back on if they were turned off, and also to turn off the weather radar if it was used.
So bleed.
Yeah,
Off?
so they can just you just make sure they're on again,
Oh, okay.
which they already were. So that can just stay the same. That's fine
Okay.
the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah, flaps up and radar standby, which it is.
All right.
You would see a flashing WX transmitting in yellow on your MFD if the weather radar was still on.
Okay.
And then
Oh.
that's it. Everything else is handled at the gate.
As far as shutdown.
Yeah, like all the pumps, control lock, everything is handled at the gate.
All right, let's pull up to this fake gate.
Mhm.
Vaticus, hello, just checking out the Q4XP. Yeah, it's a fantastic plane. Really, really enjoying it. And we have a real world Q400 pilot here with us on live voice, giving us some tips and tricks on the plane in general. And we've got horrible scenery, so my apologies. I've got to work on my... I don't know why it doesn't have the default runways. There's something wrong with my INI file, but... I think it's because my... Oops. Well, I'm not sure why, actually. Ortho photo is overlapping any runway textures, which you'd think they'd have both. Well, it has the runway, it just doesn't have taxiways.
Yeah.
So maybe global airports is, or yeah, Ortho is on top of the global airports. Because again, we don't have any buildings either. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through a shutdown.
Okay, I'll set the parking brake and turn the steering off.
Parking brake set. Steering button is off.
Your parking brake is now not set.
Oh, it was set before. Okay, that's right. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, so park brake, steering off, and then you turn off the AC consumers. So that's the anti-ice, the whole ice protection panel you turn off, and
Oops.
then the
Accidentally put the wipers. Okay, heat off. Go ahead.
the fuel pumps and hide pumps will all turn off.
Okay.
And then you can do the condition levers to start and feather, and start a timer for 30 seconds.
Oh, I didn't have the sound up for that, but I love that sound going to feather.
Yeah. And just press the top right button on your clock. That'll start your time.
Top right button on the clock. Where is? Oh, right there.
Yep.
Right there. Boom. Oh. That's pretty.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
And so while this is going, it's usually when it's try hooking up ground power, so you can plug a ground power in.
Go to payload. Connect GPU. Taxi light's still on. Haha.
Oh yeah, you turn that off, yeah. I'm blind.
That's
them.
funny.
Oh,
That
that's funny. It tells you that. That's so funny.
It's smart. It's like,
Yeah.
you're not. We don't want to have the guy blinded.
Yeah, so then go up and click your ground power switch and check it on the electrical page.
Ground power is on. Click
And
on
then so
the
yeah, so then as an
electrical.
as an FO duty, they manage the screen. So you turn next to the system buttons, you turn turn it back to system. The knob next to it. Yeah, so do that. So then you got and make sure you press go to electrical.
Okay, there's electrical.
Yeah, there we go. That'll do it. All right, so we see the green text, DC external power is on, so now we can shut down the engines.
And
It's,
we do
yeah.
that with just fuel cutoff.
Yep. Yeah, so once 30 seconds have expired, you can
Oh.
do fuel off.
I have to do that with the mouse. My access is not working.
Yeah. And then turn off the beacon. And then
Position
I'll
light.
just run through the rest of your parking checklist to see what else there is. Oh, and set the control lock and transponder to standby.
Okay, that's done.
All right, steering off, parking checklist.
Emergency brake on. Hydraulic pressure normal. Someone just opened my door. Or did something. That was cool. Alright, power levels disconnect. Condition lever start and feather. What? Start and feather.
Yeah, this is stuff we've already done.
Oh, okay. Nose wheel steering, radar. Anti-skid. Oops.
That'll stay on unless you're shutting the plane down for the day.
Oh, okay. So when you find, but I guess during your startup routine, you just verify that that's on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Bleed
an FO duty.
air off.
The bleeds can. Oh yeah, bleed off. Yeah.
APU, GPU is required. Emergency lights off. That already. I think. No, we didn't.
No, yeah, I didn't do the emergency lights.
Condition levers. There's that 30 seconds. Lights.
Yeah.
Battery master. Boom. All right.
Right. Yeah. So now with the with ground power on, we turn the batteries off so that if the ground power gets disconnected when we're away, it doesn't drain the batteries. Oh, we have. Is an engine still on? I just saw the hide press. One of the hide systems is still pressurized.
I don't show any.
Yeah, the number 2 is still pressurized.
Oh, you're right.
That's weird. Huh. Well, Yeah. Yeah, because normally we wouldn't turn off the batteries until the hide press is 0, because it can, if there's hide press, it'll pop open the doors when you turn off the battery.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's probably because those buttons were still all pushed in,
Maybe. Yeah.
but that shouldn't be doing anything. Anyways, yes, you turn the batteries off.
Courtesy flush of the lav toilet is on the checklist. There you go.
Oh yeah, we need to go check that now.
Last
up the
flight.
volume.
Recirc fan off. All displays off. Main auxiliary standby batteries off. Battery master off.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
cool. That's awesome. All right.
Make it annoying for the next. I like that extra info.
Did it say that?
Yeah. When you click on, I think when you clicked on the checklist item, when you click on the text part, like in the
Oh,
middle,
make it annoying for the next.
show more info. Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, that's interesting that you can get details.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. So hide more info, show more info. I didn't even notice that before.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll give you some insight on the checklist items too.
Yeah. All right, let's see if the I'm gonna see if the replay works after we've already shut down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. The GPUs in my replay. I'm gonna have to go back. Well, just fly it with the. Oh, we got there. We go. Got rid of it. See, at this point, just visually, I felt like it was descending. It was descending a little bit too quickly.
Yeah, I think we
And-
did go below. Yeah, when we were slowing down a bunch, it was going below the glide path a bit.
Yeah, so that's when I pitched up here a little bit to stay out of the neighborhood. And
Yep.
then that, of course, makes it a little more aggressive on after I'm like, okay, now I need to get back down to the runway.
Yeah.
And boy, I'd love to live right there. And then doing some corrections here. And then flaring and touchdown hard.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nice firm landing. That was like my first landing when I was doing the captain upgrade. I was looking through the HUD and my friend was telling me not to follow the flare cue, so I wasn't, but then I wasn't properly looking down the runway, so I just kind of smacked into it. It's hilarious.
Boom. I could have floated and made that soft. I even bounced a little bit there.
Oh yeah.
You know, my friend says don't float though. No matter what you do, do not float. Make it a hard landing, because if you land, if he's like our chief pilot will get a hold of us if we have a
Yep.
long landing.
Yeah. There's some leeway to float, but you have to know how far you can do that. It depends on the runway distance.
Yeah.
The runway length and what your touchdown distance is. If you're landing at a long runway at an international airport, you get the full touchdown zone markings. So once the touchdown zone markings go away, you got to put it down.
Mm.
But some airports, you got to calculate what that is, and it may be before the touchdown zone markings is your actual FAA allowed touchdown zone, so you have to know where that is.
We also had a crosswind there. You can see my plane was a little bit skewed.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're exactly right, 777 Bob. Firm landing versus float. Yeah, you got. My first landing in this plane was fantastic. I guess that I'll never see that one again. Let's see what the tower saw. Feel like we got a VIP party coming in on runway 23. It was a very high wind, right? 5 knots.
Definitely.
Boom. Bouncy bounce. I also think it's a little bit easier if I didn't have that neighborhood and trees in front of the runway. That's my other excuse.
Exactly. Yeah. Those thermals, a lot of thermals on Fino. It's a hot summer day.
It was like wind shear. It was crazy out there. That's my fish story. I'm sticking to it.
Definitely.